So, human health and diseases. Health for a long time was considered as a state of body and mind where there was a balance of certain humors, means fluids. So, this is what early Greeks like Hippocrates as well as Indian Ayurveda system of medicine asserted. It was thought that persons with black bile belonged to hot personality and would have fevers. This idea was arrived. This idea was arrived at by pure reflective thought. The discovery of blood circulation by William Harvey using experimental method and the demonstration of normal body temperature in persons with black bile using thermometer disproved the good humor hypothesis of health. In later years, biology stated that mind influenced through neural system and endocrine system, our immune system, and that our immune system maintains our health. Hence, mind and mental state affect our health. Of course, health is affected by genetic disorders, means deficiencies with which a child is born, and deficiencies or defects with which the child inherits from parents to birth, from parents from birth. Infections and lifestyle, including food and water we take, rest and exercise we give to our bodies, habits that we have or lack, etc. So the term health is very frequently used by everybody. How do we define it? Health does not simply mean absence of disease or physical fitness. It could be defined as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being. When people are healthy, they are more efficient and at work. This increases the productivity and brings economic prosperity. Health also increases longevity of people and reduces the infant and maternal mortality. Balanced diet, personal hygiene, and regular exercise are very important to maintain good health. Yoga has been practiced since time immemorial to achieve physical and mental health. Awareness about diseases and their effect on different bodily functions. Vaccination means immunization against infectious diseases, proper disposal of waste, control of vectors, and maintenance of hygiene in food and water resources are necessary for achieving good health. When the functioning of one or more organs or systems of the body is adversely affected, characterization by appearance of various signs and symptoms, we say that we are not healthy, that is, we have a disease. So, diseases can be broadly grouped into infectious and non infectious disease. Diseases which can easily be transmitted from one person to another are called as infectious disease, and the infectious diseases are very common, and every one of us suffer from these at some time or the other. So some of the infectious diseases like AIDS are fatal. Among non-infectious diseases, cancer is the major cause of death, and drug and alcohol abuse also affect our health adversely. common Common diseases in humans: a wide range of organisms belonging to bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoans, helminths, etc. could cause diseases in man. Such disease causing organisms are called pathogens. Many parasites are therefore pathogens as they cause harm to the host by living in or on them. Means endoparasites and ectoparasites. So the pathogens can enter our body by various means, multiply and interfere with normal vital activities, resulting in morphological and functional damage. Pathogens have to adapt to life within the environment of the host. For example, the pathogens that enter the gut must know a way of surviving in the stomach at a low pH and resisting the various disease digestive enzymes. A few representative members from different groups of pathogenic organisms are discussed here along with the diseases caused by them. Preventive and control measures against these diseases in general are also briefly described. So, Salmonella typhi is a pathogenic bacterium which causes typhoid fever in human beings. These pathogens generally enter the small intestine through food and water contaminated with them and migrate to other organs through blood. Sustained high fever means 39 to 40 degrees Celsius. Weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, and loss of appetite are some of the common symptoms of this disease. Intestinal perforation and death may occur in severe cases. So, typhoid fever could be confirmed by Vidal test. A classic case in medicine, that of Mary Mallon, nicknamed Typhoid Mary, is worth mentioning here. She was a cook by profession and was a typhoid carrier who continued to spread typhoid for several years through the food she prepared. So, bacteria like Streptococcus pneumonia and Haemophilus influenza are responsible for the disease pneumonia in humans, which infect the alveoli of the lungs. As a result of the infection, the alveoli gets filled with fluid, leading to severe problems in respiration. So the symptoms of pneumonia include fever, chills, cough, and headache. In severe cases, the lips and fingernails may turn gray to bluish in color. A healthy person acquires the infection by inhaling the droplets or aerosols released by an infected person, or even by sharing glasses and utensils with an infected person. Dysentery, plague, diphtheria, etc. are some of the bacterial diseases in man. So many viruses also cause diseases in human beings. Rhinoviruses represent one such group of viruses which cause one of the most infectious human ailments, the common cold. They infect the nose and respiratory passage but not the lungs. So, the common cold is characterized by nasal congestion and discharge, sore throat, hoarseness, cough, headache, tiredness, etc., which usually lasts for 3 to 7 days. Droplets resulting from cough or sneezes of an infected person are either inhaled directly or transmitted through contaminated objects such as pens, books, cups, doorknobs, computer keyboard, or mouse, and cause infection in a healthy person. So, some of the human diseases are caused by protozoans too. You may have heard about malaria, a disease man has been fighting since many years. So, Plasmodium, a tiny protozoan, is responsible for this disease. Different species of Plasmodium, like Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, Plasmodium falciparum, are responsible for different types of malaria. So, of these, malignant malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum is the most serious one and can be fatal. Let us take a glance at the life cycle of Plasmodium. Plasmodium enters the human body as sporozoites, infectious form of Plasmodium, through the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. The parasites initially multiply within the liver cells and then attack the red blood cells, RBCs, resulting in their rupture. The rupture of RBCs is associated with release of a toxin substance hemozoin, which is responsible for the chill and high fever recurring every 3 to 4 days. When a female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, these parasites enter the mosquito's body and undergo further development. The parasites multiply within them to form sporozoites that are stored in their salivary gland. When these mosquitoes bite a human, the sporozoites are introduced into his or her body, thereby initiating the events mentioned above. It is interesting to note that the malarial parasite requires two hosts, human and mosquitoes, to complete its life cycle. The female Anopheles mosquito is the vector transmitting agent 2. Now, Ant amoeba histolytica is a protozoan parasite in the large intestine of human which causes amoebiasis, means amoebic dysentery. Symptoms of this disease include constipation, abdominal pain, and cramps, stools with excess mucus and blood clots. Houseflies act as a mechanical carriers and serve to transmit the parasite from feces of infected person to food and food products, thereby contaminating them. Drinking water and food contaminated by the fecal matter are the main source of infection. Ascaris, the common roundworm, and Wuchereria, the filarial worm, are some of the helminths which are known to be pathogenic to man. Ascaris, an intestinal parasite, causes ascariasis. Symptoms of these diseases include internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, and blockage of the intestinal passage. The eggs of the parasite are excreted along with the feces of infected person with which contaminate the soil, water, plants, etc. A healthy person acquires this infection through contaminated water, vegetables, fruits, etc. Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malai, the filarial worms, cause a slowly developing chronic inflammation of the organs in which they live for many years. Usually, the lymphatic vessels of the lower limbs, and the disease is called elephantiasis or filariasis. The genital organs are often affected, resulting in the gross deformities. The pathogens are transmitted to a healthy person through the bite of by the female mosquito vectors. Many fungi belonging to the genera Microsporum, Trichophyton, and Epidermophyton are responsible for ringworms, which is one of the most common infectious diseases in man. Appearance of dry, scaly lesions on various parts of the body, such as skin, nails, and scalps, are the main symptoms of the disease. These lesions are accompanied by intense itching. Heat and moisture help these fungi to grow, which makes them thrive in skin folds such as those in the groin or between the toes. Ringworms are generally acquired from soil or by using towels, clothes, or even the comb of the infected individual. So, maintenance of personal and public hygiene is very important for prevention and control of many infectious diseases. Measures for personal hygiene include keeping the body clean, consumption of clean drinking water, food, vegetables, fruits, etc. Public hygiene includes proper disposal of waste and excreta, periodic cleaning and disinfection of water reservoirs, pools, cesspools, and tanks, and observing standard practices of hygiene in public catering. These measures are particularly essential where the infectious agents are transmitted through food and water, such as typhoid, amoebiasis, and ascariasis. In case of airborne diseases such as pneumonia and common cold, in addition to the above measures, close contact with the infected person or their belongings should be avoided. For diseases such as malaria and filariasis that are transmitted through insect vectors, the most important measure is to control or eliminate the vectors and their breeding places. This can be achieved by avoiding stagnation of water in and around the residential areas, regular cleaning of the household coolers, use of mosquito nets, introducing fishes like gombusia in ponds that feed on mosquito larvae, spraying of insecticides in ditches, drainage areas, and swamps, etc. In addition, doors and windows should be provided with wire mesh to prevent the entry of mosquitoes. Such precautions have become more important, especially in the light of recent widespread incidences of the vector borne Aedes mosquito diseases like dengue and chikungunya in many parts of India. The advancements made in biological science have armed us to effectively deal with many infectious diseases. The use of vaccines and immunization program have enabled us to completely eradicate a deadly disease like smallpox. A large number of other infectious diseases like polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, and tetanus have been controlled to a large extent by the use of vaccines. Biotechnology is at the verge of making available newer and safer vaccines. Discovery of antibiotics and various other drugs has also enabled us to effectively treat infectious diseases.